There we go. Okay, so there's two parts of what we're going to do today. Number one is using Revolve to create some sort of frame, or you could do this as a tube. You could do it, you know, as an I-beam. And then the other thing is creating a rectangle at an axis angle, and we'll do that at the end. Okay, so what we're going to start with is a simple, just a letter in your name. It doesn't really matter what size you make it. The bigger you make it, the easier it is to do what we're about to do today. I'm going to start with an A, and I'm actually going to make this 1 inch tall, just so it's a little bit, taller. I'm not going to play with text, but you can do, you know, whatever. You can choose different texts and stuff like that. I'm just going to go with this for now. And what I'm going to do is I'm first going to extrude this text once. And it doesn't really matter what length you make it. This would be basically the length of your body or something like that. And if you look at this tubular frame, it would be this bar right here. Okay? So what I'm going to do is after, and anybody can do this. This is the easy part. So I'm going to create a sketch on this face of this A, or I guess for you it would be maybe your frame or something like that. And then I'm going to click Project Cut Edges, and not Project Geometry. I'm going to choose Project Cut Edges, and it selects all of this stuff. What I need to create, what I'm about to create, is an axis line. And this axis line is basically exactly next to or above. You can make it, you know, you can put it all anywhere you want, or you can even measure the distance so you can get an exact number for what we're about to do. Okay? That part's easy also. Here is the part that makes it a little bit more complicated. I'm going to select this, and I'm going to select an axis. And sometimes when you select it, this won't show up at all, and it's mostly just because it can't make a full circle out of what you're doing. But what I'm doing is I grab this little arrow, and I'm creating a little shape that goes around at an angle. I can choose any angle I want, or you can select it to go 90 degrees. And what that does for you is it now creates a perfect parallel surface to what is here. So this is parallel to this side of this object, or it's perpendicular to this line. Okay, I'm going to do this a second time, and you can do this as many times as you want to practice this. But this time, instead, I'm going to put the line up above it, like this. And then I'm going to go to Finish, and I'm going to go to Revolve again. Oops, I forgot to project the cut edges. Then I can revolve it. So I'm going to select this. I'm going to select this as my axis. And like I said before, you can choose to turn this, and if you see, like now it's cutting, all I have to do is just add it. Boop! Just like that. And then I can do the same thing if I want to make it 90 degrees. Now what I did was I brought it around 90 degrees and up 90 degrees. Now this top surface is exactly perpendicular to this bottom surface. Okay? I'm going to show you one other thing, and then I'm going to show you the last little piece of what we're going to do today. What I can do is I can delete this horizontal constraint, and I can turn this line at an angle, and then what it does is it curves this at an angle, and it allows you to make complex shapes and complex movements with just a simple revolve tool. Okay? You can play with this however you want to. If you choose to do this as your tubular frame for your scooter, you can play with all of those revolves and changes and stuff like that. Okay? I'm going to show you one last thing. You can also, I'm going to do this, if you want this to be a bigger curve, what you can do is you can move this farther away, and then it makes a bigger curve. Okay? Okay, last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to turn on over here in the origin, right here, to make your life easier if you need to. We can turn these so they're visible, and when you're finished, so you can choose the right plane for what you want to do. You can, if you want, you can drag the planes and make new planes and all that other stuff. And then when you're done, you can go back and you can turn them back off. Okay? Alright, so the last thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to create a sketch on this surface here. And I'm going to use a new rectangle called 3-point center. And I'm going to click on this, and I want you to see that I can choose any axis for this rectangle, and it'll extrude from that rectangle or extend from that angle. This is the same way you are going to do this piece here. Okay? You're going to do an object like this, so you can make it even with your fork shape. And you can change the axis of it, you can change the location of it. And when you extrude it, I'm going to bring it so it's about average into what it is. And then when you're done, you can always go back and you can fillet this. And you can make it rounded. So it looks like the front of a bicycle or a other piece. Okay? Alright, I'm going to